All right, everybody. Where's it at? Maybe in here. Let's see here. Yeah, no, there it is. I am smoking. There we go. There we go. I'm smoking some stuff called Amnesia K Lemon. Right? Oh my god. This is killer. Not killer in a good way. I've had lemon before, and I remember not hating it. But this amnesia stuff, damn. But luckily, I wrote down a little thing here, so hopefully I remember everything that I want to say. So, let us begin. Transformation as history. Like when you look back at history, you know, people are living with all these different clothing. Right? Clothing which we would call like costumes, right? Like we look back on the Romans wearing their togas, or you know, all throughout history. You know, there's one point in European times where you had these groups of mercenaries who would walk around like pimped out, like weird. But you know, I mean, tribes transform. They do. And people who try to make a tribe static, you know, it just, you're fighting impossible battles. And so you see this transformation throughout history, right? I mean, there's different customs, different beliefs, different religions. There's just total fucking transformation all the time. If you look at Moses and Samuel, right? I've talked about this before. It's like Moses was dealing with a Jewish tribe who had grown up in Egypt. And the Egyptian customs created a group of Jews which were unique throughout Jewish times. Right? This is, and so when we come to the period of Samuel's different, dealing with a different tribe of Jews. Right? So you can think think of a high priest as like a doctor. You know, I mean, each body is actually unique. And the sickness may be the same, but the prescription may be different. And then again, this goes back to each Jew having the law written on their hearts. Like this is... The Jews of today are nothing like the Jews of the past. Like again, you have transformation as history. You know, and things are different. You know, so where do we go from here? Let's see here. Echoes throughout time. Pride chart. Okay, so we'll do a pride chart, but we have to know what pride is, right? Pride is just simply to not see properly. Humility is to see properly, right? So pride has nothing to do with arrogance, right? Pride has nothing to do with arrogance, and humility has nothing to do with meekness. These are total opposites. You could have a humble person who is arrogant, but if they see properly, there's nothing unpure or inauthentic in his arrogance. It's innocent, like a child. Um, or you could have a prideful person who's arrogant, right? So again, you and again you could have a prideful person who's meek and a prideful person who's But anyways, let's start the pride chart. All right. Let's go pride. Boop, 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 boop. And then let's change colors. And we will go. So there we go. You have pride, and then but you have two different categories, and you have a bad heart and a good heart, right? So you could have a person that is vain or murderous and hateful, or etc. Yada yada yada. Or you could have a person who's like, I want to fight the good fight, man. But these are different types of pride. I mean, they're not, because it's the same type of pride actually. It's just the same type of pride in two different types of people, right? Making these two completely different types of characters, right? And we could talk about the just go back a bit. Fuck. This thing's not working. Alright, I'll grab another pen. I don't have a lot of choices here. I need to go get my pen back. Arrogant or meek, right? Now these are two different types of pride, right? So we have two different types, probably the same type, but just in two different hearts. Someone who doesn't see. I mean, let's go to one of my favorite movies, Kung Fu Panda, right? Now in Kung Fu Panda, right, what was the sin of Shifu? The sin of Sifu was pride, right? He didn't see the heart of his of his student. He didn't see that the heart of his student was bad, and that he was creating a golem that could destroy. So he's prideful. Boom. End of story. But that's not true. You can't become a master if you can't see properly in some areas. Right? So he could see a lot. But there were certain things that he cannot see. Right? So you know what? Let's get my my pen back. I need a new color, Teresa. Alright. Alright, we'll pick at random. And it's purple. So, over here we could put narrow eyesight, right? Narrow eyesight. And, I mean, unless you are completely 100% humble, which, is that possible? To be 100% humble? Or 100% prideful? This would be something that, that moves the dials, right? Move out of my way, stupid cat. You just got fed. See, that's proof. You won't be litigious against me, bitch. Anyways, let's see here. Yeah, so, it's like we're all gonna be prideful in one area, just like Shifu. We're all gonna be like Shifu, right? That's why I think we all, in a way, identify with that. Um, and especially in this idea of not being able to see the man or the woman who broke your heart, like like so we can identify with that, but at the same time we can also say that, I mean, that we can have different pride towards different specific things. um, and how does it turn the dials, though? Why did I say that? I don't know. Don't listen to me, peoples. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Narcissists throughout history. No, I mean, let's go back to the pride chart. Narrow eyesight. Arrogant. I mean, again, and this is very limited here, because I think we could keep expanding this pride chart. Um, to reveal pride as this aspect of the human experience that is way more complex. Like, pride itself may be simple; you can't see properly, but pride is this thing that distinguishes, right? Because pride can get complex, and again, this chart is just pitiful, I think, compared to what we could just start boop 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 boop, but whatever. I'm on amnesia K lemon right now, and Corona and cigarettes. Speaking of cigarettes, let's go to the next one. Narcissists throughout history. Okay, so like modern psychology will discuss a person called a narcissist, right? And I think this is very observable in the human condition, right? Um, I mean, like, traditionally speaking, maybe we would want to talk about vanity rather than, and not that we would want to, but maybe they did in the past talk about narcissists as vain. Maybe not. Interesting though. But like I've said it in the past, it's like you have certain men out there that want to go out there and really do good works in the world, and they go up against the establishment, and the establishment wins, right? Um, it's like this, but that's one type of person. This type of person that's trying to, like, save people, right? Um, but if you look at a narcissist and if you hear them speak, it's like, aren't they the fucking heroes? Like all narcissists have this messianic thing, right? Um, and so you can identify, I think, um, like certain people from the past who are like people from the present, or two people from the past from different times who are like each other, right? There is this similarity um, that is possible. Um, I mean, maybe even narcissists could be described as the ultimate pride, right? Uh, Uber pride, right? So how many things that describe an individual? So like basically like how many things could we talk about? We could talk about pride and humility. We could talk about bravery. There are different types and categories of bravery. So you could break bravery up. Love, whatever that is, right? Um, and so, but I mean, here's the thing. It's like when you put these things into individual people, that means you could have um, someone who is prideful and they have a bad heart. In other words, let's say they're cowards. Let's say they're cowards. But then you go to their love attributes, and let's say they do love, right? But you could say maybe courage is the ultimate form of love, and so they fail in the most important test of love. Um, but they do you desperately want to love. Um, I mean, we could talk about patience. I mean, how many things can we talk about, right? um, now, I was talking to this person I think was pretty much an angel. I've talked to people that I think were angels before. But this guy, he kept breaking the fourth wall, like he did. Like he would just fucking say things. I'm like, you know what? You shouldn't be saying that shit. And but I never call him out on it, because I can't. And maybe I could. I don't know. But you know, plus I knew how they like to be treated. Right? They like to be treated. Like I would treat him like I'd treat anyone else. You know, it might be anyone else. That's what the veil was all about, right? I could have just been talking to this human. This human just kept saying some weird things, and he wasn't crazy. He was a very rational person. Uh, but every now and then he would just say these weird things. And at one point in time, he was like, there are 10,000 things, And he just said this statement that was just so like out of the fucking what are you talking about? Like, we weren't talking about anything like this, and I have no idea what you're saying right now. Again, this was a rational person I was talking to. That's why this angel kept breaking the fourth wall. And I'm just looking at him, and I never like went home and recorded all this shit down. And again, treat him just like I treat anyone else. But I think I should have definitely recorded this, because he just said this. It was like 10,000 things. But I actually think that's what he was talking about. Recently I discussed a passion. And, I think passion is one of the things that distinguishes a man or a woman or a child. But yeah, no, like anytime he would break the fourth wall, like I would break it too, because I'd just give him this like look of incredulous disgust. I was like, what the fuck? You're not allowed to say shit like that. But he would look back at me, and he would just give me this like creepy little sly smile. Arrogant little bastard. So yeah, no, angels are creepy. Interesting video game implications. I mean, I think this does. It's like, how do we create NPCs that bring us into the world, right? Because we all like escaping into these different worlds, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It could be a bad thing depending on the times you're living in. If you're escaping into these worlds in order to escape life, then that might be unhealthy. But you could still be living life and escape into another world every now and then. You could be living a good life and be like, hey, I want to watch a story. So escapism is not bad in and of itself. And so, but it's like the when you're playing a video game, sometimes the NPCs disengage you, right? Because they're just not acting like normal humans, right? And so, I think this has maybe some implications in creating more engaging, uh, more engaging NPCs, right? And it also has the capacity to improve stories. Like I think a lot of stories out there, the characters are just so cliched and what they would call like tropish, right? I mean, it's these characters just they're. Ugh. So, anyways, I write stories, and when I write stories, I try to employ this. It's like each character is fucking unique. They are their own person, you know. Um, I mean, this idea uh, that everyone in the past is wearing all these costumes, but our clothing are not costumes. Like that's kind of weird that we would think that. It's like no, we're wearing costumes just like everyone else throughout history. It's all a costume. And in future times, they'll be looking back upon anything that you're wearing right now as a costume, right? Um, so it's weird that the mind can like do shit like that to you. It's like the mind is like maybe tricky. I don't know. Um, but yeah, no. I mean, if we start to think about the mind as a as a as a as another way to distinguish human beings, right? Um, I mean, these all these costumes are just, or no, customs. We're not talking about costumes anymore. Like if you think about customs, there are different customs throughout history, um, and we think of them as weird, you know. Um, like in the South, you have to put all of your silverware in the exact proper place, right? It's like fucking weird. Um, maybe not nowadays, but like in the past. And it's like we're all living within these different mental algorithms throughout history. Uh, different customs, different laws, you know. Laws are different than customs, maybe. Um, la, 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 la. Anyways, this amnesia is a killer. Um, but like in the United States, it's not proper to burp, right? But there are a lot of places in the world where after you eat a meal, it's um, an honor if the person burps because you're admiring their food, right? Um, but if someone burps and there's a little girl in the room and she goes ew, like that that little "ooh" right there could eventually inform the customs of a people, right? Um, it would be silly if all these mental algorithms were just so simple. It has the power of ooh and ah, right? And honor. But I mean, then we go to the imagination, right? And the imagination is a part of us, and so it would make sense that the imagination drives transformation throughout history. It's like the parent the children may honor and respect their parents, but they want to build their own stuff. They want to do their own things. They want to be them, right? And I think all of this is driven by the beautiful imagination, which is definitely one of the spices of life, right? And so if we had all this together, I think there's this argument to be said, and it's an argument that flies in the face that's living through tyrannical times, because tyranny tends to try to kill you and put you into a category. So if you're living in tyrannical times, then a subject called the uniqueness of you, you could look on cynically. Um, because all that you've ever experienced is a very limited group of categories. But um, I just look at history, and it flies in the face of that. I think we all are unique, and we're living in unique times. And you are as one who has never been before.